It's always tough when you face a better player, especially the ones that are hunting you down. They make you feel lost in a box and you feel like you're just flopping around in front of their eyes. Once they kill you, you feel like you're the worst player on the planet. Actually, no. You think about how many hours they put into a video game. Well, here are some tips for what you can do when you face a better player. If you consider yourself as a pretty bad player, then this tip will probably help you the most. First, being forced 50-50s. If you have ever watched pros complain about aim assist or a player making stupid moves, then this is exactly that. A better player can beat you almost every time if you let them control you, but with 50-50s, the outcome is exactly what the name implies. It can be very random. Assuming the better player that you're facing has better aim than you, this may bring down your chances of winning to 20%. Don't worry though, I'll share a few ways that you can force a surprise 50-50. After all, I'm not trying to get a 20% like ratio. The first way that you can trick an opponent into an easy 50-50 is baiting your movement. The easiest way to perform this trick is to box up and wait for your opponent to take the wall. Once you see your opponent attempt to take the wall, try editing one of your side walls, then pretending to run in that direction, then quickly turn back to facing your opponent and edit through the wall to kiss your opponent. You can even place a fake ramp to make it more realistic. Just make sure you give them the fattest kiss so you don't lose the 50-50. Another way that you can bait your opponent is fake pop shield or meds. Right when your opponent starts pickaxing your wall, you can cancel your healing process and smash him from the front. Wait. Lastly, if you don't want to do any of those tedious tricks, you could just edit through the wall in 50-50. However, I recommend you to stay close to the wall and rush your opponent as soon as you see them behind the wall. This way, you don't give them any time to react and will put you at a slight advantage. Also, a cool thing to note is that when you 50-50 an opponent, you will win most of the time if you strafe to the right side of your opponent. This is because Fortnite players are more used to right hand peeks, so if you come from their right side, which is your left side, they will tend to hit more shots. Whereas if you come from their left side and your right side, this might give you an extra 10% chance of winning. As mentioned before, 50-50 is a less reliable tactic to beating your opponent, so try to avoid using this tactic unless you have nothing to lose. Moving on to my second or my first actual tip, it is going to be playing defensively. When you face a player that is better than you, it usually means that the mechanics are way better than yours. To counter that, you want to avoid exposing yourself in areas where the surrounding structures are not yours. The easiest way to playing defensively is to box up in multiple 1v1s. Never sit in one 1v1 since it gives your opponent more angles to key you and less space for you to run away. Essentially, when you play defensively in a box, your main goal is to catch your opponent off guard and make him feel frustrated. While you extend your 1v1s, look for sneaky angles and shoot when you think it's a good opportunity. If you ever see a ramp or cone placed in front of your wall, it can be a good indication to which side your opponent is coming from. You can immediately open the edit on the side that your opponent places the builds on and wait for them to appear for an easy surprise shot. If your opponent is smart and places multiple cones or ramps around your box, you can still try to predict where they are coming from using the in-game audio. In general, try to play less aggro and punish your opponent's mistakes. This means to not let them run away when you hit them hard and not letting them heal for free. Make sure that when you extend your 1v1s, don't walk into the new box until you make sure everything is yours. This will prevent you from getting piece controlled and from getting put into a montage. My third tip for what you can do against a better player is finding another fight. This will help you run away from the player that doesn't go outside and potentially grant you an easy kill. Remember, this will only work if the player that is chasing you is still decently far away. Your goal is to find another fight, rotate near the fight, and quickly rotate away from the fight. The existing fight will usually draw attention to the sweaty tryhard, and that's when you can become the third party and target the annoying sweat. If you can't find a nearby fight, the best thing that you can do is rotate to a higher elevation while constantly applying pressure with your long-range guns such as AR and sniper. Never let your opponent come to you for free. Always pressure back so you don't look like a free 50 pot. My last tip for the video is going to be jumping and staying together. This only applies in team modes, and it's a very simple yet powerful move that I don't often see. All it takes is for you and your team to stay inside the same box and wait for your opponent to take the wall. You want to wait for one opponent to take the walls themselves and punish them for playing as a solo. Simply edit through the wall and rush your opponent with the help of your teammates. Almost 99% of the time, you will find yourself killing the opponent no matter how good they are. If your opponent's pressure from different angles, you and your teammates should pick one person and jump on that person together. It's basically 50-50, but in team modes, when you have a 2v1, 3v1, or even a 4v1, I don't consider those as stupid trades. It's actually using numbers to your advantage. The key to utilizing this trick is communication. Make sure you and your teammates know which exact opponent or skin to rush, and never commit to a 2v2, 3v3, or a 4v4 trade. Only use this trick when there are less opponents behind the wall than the amount of people on your team. And that wraps up my video. Hopefully you learned something new. Consider dropping a sub and using code pieces in the item shop. Peace.